good, that's correct. So our lesson last meeting was the various strategies to avoid miscommunication. So again, it is important for us to know these strategies in order for us to communicate effectively. Now, before we start our formal lesson, let me present to you our objectives. So, at the end of this lesson, you students will be expected to first identify the types of speech context through pick-to-word activity. Second is demonstrate each type of speech context through a tableau activity. And last one is recognize the importance of different speech contexts through reflection activity. Now, before we delve into our discussion, let's have a quick activity. So our activity is what we call the pick-to-word. Alright, so I have here two pictures which corresponds to the jumbled words here. So all you have to do is to guess this word in order to answer the jumbled words. So before that, I will give you a hint. Okay. And I will be calling someone to describe this picture. Alright. How about you, Mr. Angela? Can you describe this picture for me?
She's having a conversation with herself.
Very good observation. Alright, next would be you, Miss Lisa. Can you describe this one?
Two people having conversation.
Very good. You guys have a hint now. You are now going to answer this jumbled word. So I will be calling students randomly using our three of fortune. Very good. So I will be picking one apple. So this is from row 3A. So you guys, row 1, row 3. I want to pick Miss Gloria. Can you guess and arrange the jumbled words accordingly?
Wow.
You cheer Miss Gloria. Go! Kayo muna. Alright, so what is the words, Miss Gloria?
Speech context.
Very good. So let's give a hand to Miss Gloria. And also give a hand to yourself.
Okay, class, did you enjoy the activity?
Yes,
Now, I will ask you some questions based on the activity. So I will pick randomly to answer my questions. Okay, Miss De Leon, what did you observe in the activity?
I guess it's about communication.
Okay, thank you, Miss De Leon. So she said it's all about communication. Since our previous activity is related to our previous activity, and communication is interaction between two or more people. It can be with your friends, with your family, and to other people. And for the last questions, Miss Nova, can you answer my questions? How do you define speech context?
For what I know, speech context is, it refers to how you communicate with other people.
Okay, very good, Miss Nova. So, speech context, it is the way that people use to communicate and transmit message to other people. It can be interpersonal or intrapersonal. So, since those questions that I've mentioned is related to our next topic, which is speech context. So now, let's move on to our discussion.
Alright, so good evening. evening, class.
Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening, class.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. So, before we proceed, so I want you to guys what we have discussed last week. So, we talked about very good. So, we discussed various strategies to avoid communication breakdown. And now we will be moving on to another topic. So, before we proceed with the proper discussion, let us first know this device. So, we call this device well of wisdom. So this well of wisdom consists our knowledge and the lesson that we will be discussing. So again, what is the topic all about for tonight? It's all about very good. Okay. So the discussion will be all about types of speech context. So what is speech context? So it refers to the way that individuals use to communicate or to interact. So everyone, please read.
There are two different types of speech contexts, and these are interpersonal and intrapersonal. Under the interpersonal, it also has subtypes which are direct communication, small group, public, and mass communication.
Okay, so the main topic for this discussion will be interpersonal and intrapersonal. So who among you here knows what intrapersonal is? Miss Julie, do you have any ideas what intrapersonal is?
For me, sir, is interpersonal is the way you communicate with yourself.
Very good, this is correct. Okay, how about interpersonal? Miss Mika.
Interpersonal communication is the exchange of information, thoughts, and opinions with two or more people.
Okay, very good. So I guess you already have an idea to what the discussion is all about. So again, interpersonal, it refers to communication in oneself. For example, is talking in front of a mirror. For example, is you are practicing your report and such. In contrary, we have interpersonal. So it refers to communication between and among people. Give me an example of interpersonal communication.
So interpersonal communication is where a person is talking to his mother or his father.
Okay, very good. That is correct. So a good example as well is communicating with your friends and family, just like his example. So under this what we call interpersonal, we also have subtypes, namely dyad or dyadic communication. We have small group, we have public, and lastly we have mass communication. So let us first discuss what is dyadic communication or dyad communication. So it refers to communication between two people. Miss Chatsy, give me an example of dyad communication.
Like 10 minutes. 10 minutes na.
Very good. Okay. How about next we have small group. So it refers to communication between 3 to 10 people. Miss Ibaya, give me an example of small group.
Brainstorming for a presentation.
Very good. Okay. So third one will be public. So it refers to communication that requires you to deliver a message in front of a group. Mr. Africa, where are you? I get it. And lastly, we have mass communication. So it refers to communication that takes place through TV, radio, newspaper. So Miss Bahaka, give me an example of mass communication.
The news reporter reports the live happening in the Davao City.
Okay. So what again are the subtypes of interpersonal? We have
Dyadic, small group, public, and mass communication.
Alright, so that's all correct. So now since you already have an idea, so what I have here are So, Mr. Aduba, what do you think is this picture? Very good. Why? Why did you say so? Oh, very good. Please give her a round of applause. How about this one, Miss Akita? Why did you say so? Very good. Kailangan ng tao. Guardario.
That is direct communication.
Why did you say so?
Two people are conversing.
Very good. And Duday. Why did you say so? Very good. The girl is speaking with herself. So I guess you already know what the main topic is all about. So now, are you now ready for our next activity?
Yes, sir.
Are you now ready?
Yes.
Okay, so now let us proceed.
Okay, thank you for that wonderful discussion, Mr. Lisao. Now that we're done with the discussion of the lesson, we'll have a fun activity for you guys. Are you ready?
Yes.
Again, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Next. So this activity is called tableau. So what you're gonna do is you will have to act scenarios based on the picture that will be presented here later. So this will be the group 1, group 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So are you guys following?
Yes.
Okay. And here, Miss Justine already introduced this, but this will decide your fate in this activity. Each apple contains the number of specific group. So whatever apple I pick, that group will have to stand here and present. I will call on the group because we are limited on time. So let's proceed on the instruction of the activity. So first, each group will begin 20 seconds to prepare behind the curtains, and they must choose one representative among the 5 members to explain their tableau. The group with the most applause will be declared as the winner. So do you guys understand the instruction?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now it's time to pick. Okay, this row. Larry's row. Please stand up. Go here. Another apple. Angela's row. Emily, stand up. Here. Okay, so next slide please. This will be the picture that you need to act. You have only 20 seconds. Timer starts now. Okay, boss. So you guys will decide who will win between these two groups. So let's give it up for Angela's group. How about Nika's group? I think it's a tie. Good job. Thank you for the participation. So I've seen that you really understand what Mr. Brian talked about earlier because you were able to perform. So let me ask you a question. How about Miss Pusa? So Miss Pusa, what do you think is the type of speech context being presented?
Public.
Why do you think so?
Because there is a speaker and he is speaking in front of public.
Okay, let's give a round of applause. So, pat yourselves on your back. Thank you for participating.
Alright, so now we have a quick reflection about the topic that we have discussed and provide an example based on their experiences. So one student will be randomly called, we have shared he or she wrote. This assessment will be graded according to the rubric. So the criteria is to be content, the coherence, the conception of the topic, and the cohesion. So you will be given, I get one sheet of paper, and so you will be given 5 minutes to answer it. So you may start answering now. So, time's up. Miss Katigan, please stand up. Can you please share your insights?
So, interpersonal is based on, intrapersonal is based on analysis, thinking, then intra is decision making.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. You have a beautiful answer. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, class, please pass your 1/4 sheet of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, class. So, do you have? Remember that your assignment is will be posted on BBL and will be only available until March 1 at 11:59 p.m. So again, your assignment will be posted on BBL, will be only available until March 1 at 11:59 p.m. So, do you have any questions or clarifications? Okay, that's right. So, class, please stand up for our closing